Hello, my name is Ciola Henderson and I'm one of the trainers here at the Cook's Academy of Customer Service. Today we'd like to talk to you about preventative services in food handling accounts. We'll talk a little bit about monitoring, about inspections, about preventative services, and how to take care of your accounts on your routes. So if you're ready, let's go. So as we begin, we want to always make sure we're following IPM. That would mean we will want to do a thorough inspection. When we inspect, we want to identify what we found during that inspection. As we also inspect, we want to look for things like sanitation issues. What in this account is allowing this pest that we've identified to survive in the account? Then we look for potential exclusion issues. Now, in food handling, exclusion could potentially be that things were brought in. We don't know. So we want to inspect even items that were brought in by vendors to see if maybe something is maybe piggybacked on it. And then we want to treat. So we treat specific to food handling accounts, and we know that in food prep areas, we should not be using aerosols. We also know, based off of our Tech Standards app, that we need to have a minimum of 15 zone monitors in each food handling account. So in food handling accounts, we want to make sure we reiterate that they do not just mean restaurants. It could be a daycare. It could be a daycare that serves food to the students. It could be maybe even a business that has a cafeteria where they provide food for their employees. It could be a manufacturing facility that produces some type of food. Anywhere that something is being produced that we consume, whether it's something that we drink or eat, that is considered food handling. So anywhere food is being prepared, we want to take a look at these areas and inspect, do a thorough inspection and treat properly. So if you see over here, we do have a booth area in a dining room right now. This is a great place for potential pest harborage. So we want to make sure that we're doing a thorough inspection. Things that you need to have on hand for your inspection, definitely your flashlight, your inspection mirror. Areas that we want to check would be around seating areas. Oftentimes crumbs are dropped, it could be spillage, and it may not always be completely clean. So if it's still left in place, guess what? It could be a food source for pests. So we want to check these areas. Seating for children, we know that potentially there could be crumbs in this area, and if it's not completely clean, it could particularly overnight be a food source for pests. So we're taking a look. You want to be willing to squat down and take a look underneath areas. We want to always inspect crevices and creases here. We could have food particles here that could be a food source for pests. And some of these cushions are removable, so if the customer allows, you might be able to lift these cushions up. Areas also to check using your inspection mirror, where you may not be able to get your head directly down in that area. You can use your mirror and see if there's any activity. So during your inspections, you want to make sure that you're checking all of these cracks and crevices, nooks and crannies, all of the seating areas to make sure that there's nothing available for the pest to survive on. So another area that we want to make sure we're checking and inspecting thoroughly is the bar area. Lots of moisture that can be found in this area. You'll also have fruit that's used for preparation of drinks. All of these are attractants for insects. Also, you'll have people sitting in the front of the bar, and potentially they could have things on their hands that they're wiping off underneath the bar. All of these are items that could be a food source for pests. This is a great place as well to check the ergonomic mats, because oftentimes they have a good bit of food debris in them as well. And you want to look for any potential drains that could be hidden. We want to make sure we're checking those and treating those preventatively each service. So I'm just going to scoot down here and take a look at a couple of drains that we have down below. Our floor drains. So we have one here. And what we want to do is get some of our product down in there. And we have our long extension tube right here that allows us to apply product. And we have another area right here. So as we're going along and we're performing our inspections, we can perform these preventative treatments in all of the floor drains. Please do not apply the product in the drains where people are preparing food or rinsing off dishes. Another area that we want to always pay attention to is wherever the liquor is. We know that bartenders are busy and oftentimes they'll take the lids off of their bottles so that it's quick and easy to make mixed drinks. But it also is very attractive for small flies, particularly fruit flies. So just asking them to be sure and put some type of plastic cover over these drinks would be quite helpful, and to make sure that they empty the trash with the liquor bottles in it each night would be very, very helpful. Anything like an ice chest like we have here, it would be beneficial for the customer to have those elevated so that there's airflow underneath, so that there's not a buildup of moisture and food combined to make it a food source for flies and for roaches. So another great area to inspect early in the morning before the customers come into these restaurant accounts is definitely our self-serve area. There could be a good bit of spillage around these areas from overnight cleaning, potentially something that was missed. And then we want to check around the motor assembly, make sure that there's no activity there. That's a great place to place a zone monitor as well. That's a great place to also to bait, and gel bait applications are great in that area. Another area would be near our garbage receptacles. So these open up, and sometimes there's food spillage in these areas. So we want to inspect, make sure we don't have any activity. And if possible, you can move the garbage can itself out. Some of them will have the metal rim. If you're able to pick that up and inspect that, because sometimes there's food spillage around that, that would be a great spot to check. And also with your recycle bins, some people put trash in these. So we want to check these as well. Oftentimes these are not emptied until they're full, and it could take several weeks before they are full. So inspect these areas. It's just going to make a big, big difference in the way that your treatment is successful in your accounts. Now, one of the products that we can use in order to apply Gentrol in our accounts now is a combination of Alpine WSG and Gentrol concentrate. We mix both these products, 10 grams of the Alpine WSG with 1 ounce of Gentrol concentrate in 1 gallon of water in a container. Mix it all together and then apply 16 ounces at a time into your aerofol. This is a great way to not only apply bait for both roaches and for flies, but also we're getting the insect growth regulating component of the Gentrol concentrate. So it's going to help us tremendously with insects that go through gradual metamorphosis, including our German cockroaches. So when we're talking about food handling accounts with any pest control account, we want to make sure we do that thorough inspection. In the back of the house, in the kitchen, great places for food to be spilled, to be behind equipment. So we need to be as thorough as we possibly can in checking for that material that will allow the pest to survive and thrive in that account. So here we have right here just a ice chest right here. Great place to inspect. So I'm looking at cracks and crevices. If there is an issue in this account with German cockroaches, I know that I'm gonna find what are known as fecal focal points. That's a congregation of their fecal matter, and that's where they live. They congregate in that fecal matter. So I'm looking for those signs of those pests, and that's gonna be a great place for me to bait. So I just inspect these areas. And inspections and pest control are not only waist high, but you gotta be willing to get down on the floor, on the ground as well, at ground level to check to find pests. So here I can just take a look underneath. Use my inspection mirror for areas that I may not be able to see when I put my head down below. Looks pretty good there. Again, with our garbage receptacle, I can take this and look underneath. Check these wheels, check these coasters. Make sure I don't see any activity here. Additional spots where pests could potentially be right around the sink. Again, high moisture area, lots of food in this area, so guess what? I can check back here with my inspection mirror. I may not always be able to see exactly what's going on just by looking at it directly, but my inspection mirror just gives me the added advantage of being able to see what's going on behind these areas. As well, it gives the customer a lot of satisfaction to see this inspection as well. And then we want to make sure that we're making them aware of our findings. You'll find things other than pest problems. It could be a leak that the customer was not aware of. It could be broken tile that's holding moisture and also holding food debris that's making it favorable for the pest. One of the things we need to always remember, whatever product you're using, please read the label and apply appropriately and for the appropriate pest. So we need to make sure we've identified pests in the account prior to applying products, but there's some preventative work that we can do. So in this setting right here, we have food prep areas. Again, scheduling is important. We want to make sure that we schedule our time for service, for inspections before the work staff gets into this area, because we don't want to get any product applications near any of the food that the customers are preparing. So as we look around, we can take a look at areas like we have here, a can opener. Sometimes this goes neglected, and oftentimes people don't pay attention that potentially there could be food material here. Oftentimes they'll grab this thing, open up a can, and then just leave it, and sometimes it's never clean. Underneath counters, underneath where the footings are, is gonna be a great place to check. So we have here our PDS applicator with our Doxim Precise. And this is a great product that we can use in areas where there's no food exposed, and we can apply it. This is a dry bait, and it works really well in areas where roaches are potentially feeding. So if I were to take a look underneath here, and I'm just gonna get down a little bit, and I could, in a crack and crevice right under here, I can apply a little bit of this product underneath here. In the cracks and crevices is where I'm applying this product. And then I'm gonna move over to this area right here. And all of the cracks and crevices, great places to apply this product. Now, if I take a look, and I'm gonna just take this apart right now. Whenever you're utilizing this PDS applicator, please make sure whenever you're done utilizing it that you turn it off, make sure you plug it back in so that we don't get any debris or moisture build up in there and then potentially cause any issues with the device itself. Now, underneath the sink area, another great area for food buildup. So we want to take a look and treat under there. Another piece of equipment that is available to us is our AeroFog applicator. So with this, we're going to mix Gentrol concentrate along with the Alpine WSG in a gallon of water, mix it, combine it, and then pour 16 ounces of it into our device applicator. And we have a number of settings on our device applicator. I prefer the fan. Now, when you're applying this product, you want to make sure you don't apply it to any food surfaces. Anywhere that food is being prepared or held, this product should not be applied. But it's great underneath equipment, and it's gonna work not only for your German roach issues, but also it's gonna give you great results when it comes to flies, particularly drain flies. Anything that lights on this and feeds on this particular bait, you're gonna have great results. So if you just take a look here, areas that we can treat, underneath, again, our equipment is a great place to apply it. And you're not applying massive amounts of the product. You'll apply it on back walls, underneath the equipment. Throughout the account, as long as you're not applying this product above where food is being held, you're gonna get great results with utilizing this. In high heat, high moisture areas, again, the Doxim Precise is a great product. It's a dry product. If it did get wet, again, it's going to dry out and still be palatable to roaches. So it's gonna work really well in a setting like we have here. We just take a look around. There's a potential where you could get shocked if you did put the needle, metal needle of a bait gun in here, but in this case, I can, and on the sides. So in this area, it's a great place to put one of the 15 minimum monitors that we need to have in place. Always place your monitors on what is known as structural guidelines, because insects have very poor vision, so what they're gonna do is travel on edges. So that's where we wanna place our monitors so we'll intercept them. Real easy to do, you just take the cover off initially, then you place it back, and then we have a strip on the very back, and we just peel that off. And what that's gonna allow us to do is to adhere it to a vertical surface. And I'm just adhering it here. And then I'll press. This is the purpose of putting the paper back on, so that I can actually press it into place, pulling that paper back off again. And there you go. I have a monitor installed, one of the 15 that I need to have installed. It'd be a good idea to place these where you're gonna intercept pests on structural guidelines, and also where you'll remember where you put them. With fly control, please always refer to the Text Standards app on your cook's iPhone. For customers who have purchased our fly control, please treat baseboards, also the top of window sills, underneath booths that are next to exterior walls. Once you've treated, please ask food handling staff to clean off any tables where residue might have settled. Also, exterior doors should be treated above the doors with a small application of fly bait. Also, we want to make sure that we're checking our insect light traps in kitchen areas where food is being prepared. A minimum of 2 fly glue sticks are installed. They should be installed above exterior doors. Please install and maintain a minimum of 5 to 6 laminated bait cards. Each service, floor drains in back of house should be treated with a preventative treatment. If cleaning is needed, we will clean them with an approved cook's drain brush. On the exterior, we spot treat dumpster areas, including concrete pad, including grease traps, and we replace Apache bait stations. There should be at least one Apache in the dumpster area and one Apache at the rear of the facility.